How's it going, guys? It's Travel. I'm back again, and we are here for the final backlog of all of the games we've played. Okay, guys, listen. All the games on screen is from the backlog. So, any more? The next time we do this is going to be like recent games, and I'll have more time to talk about it, and it'll be specific to that video. So, after this video, it's going to be it's going to be Little Nightmares 1 and 2. So we're gonna, talk more about that game. We can't really spend that much time on each one of these games because it's gonna be 2 hours. Even though I would love that, some people, they just want the information. So we're gonna do a common ground. We're gonna talk a little bit. And then we're gonna speed it up at the same time. So first up, we have Tell Me Why. Now, Tell Me Why was okay. It was released, I think, after Life is Strange 2, and it was made by the people that helped make Life is Strange Before the Storm. So basically, they know what they're doing. And guys, listen, when I say that this game is amazing, unfortunately, it's Xbox exclusive. It's an L-Box exclusive, so I couldn't play it on release day. I would have bought it on my PlayStation on release date, the second that it dropped, but they had to just tie it to an L platform. It was on PC too, but back then I didn't have PC, so I couldn't play it. Anyway, I watched a bunch of YouTubers play it. I love the playthrough. It's a very quaint little simple game. It's set in one of my favorite places. If you know, Alaska, baby. I mean, come on. And it has okay, I'm going to touch on this a little bit because you have to in this game, because it's not a significant part of the game, but it's in the game. But it does one of the characters is transgender, right? But out of all the games, first of all, I feel like you can't really. I heard a lot of people throwing Life is Strange into the woke category. Definitely woke in Double Exposure, but I feel like Life is Strange was already in that category, not woke category, but already in that kind of, we vibing over here, so especially with the first one, they're literally two lesbians. I mean, come on. So I don't think you can put them with the, what's the other game called, the Dust Bloods, or it was some RPG that was crazy, something about a dragon or something. You can't put it with those two. I feel like those are their own category. I feel like since Life is Strange has been doing not the same thing, but just they're in their lane, and I feel like those games are trying to say a message. Now Double Exposure, the most recent game in Life is Strange, they are definitely trying to push they're getting more woke, not as much as the other games I just mentioned, but they're getting up there. So but we'll talk about Double Exposure in a minute. I mean honestly, well, when I finish the game and rank it. But they handle that issue, the transition issue, very, I think, very respectful, and I think it's no other game could have played it more perfectly, because it's a part of the story, right? To not spoil, basically, as kids, their mother tried to kill them because Tyler, which is the guy in the jacket, cut his hair short, but then you find out some information that your mother knew about your transition, and was thinking about it back then, and bought a book to try to help you. So it's why would my mother care and try to kill me if she was trying to help? So it's like a murder mystery. But I'm not gonna spoil it, guys. Go play it. It's a great game. I feel like they handled that issue amazingly. It wasn't harped on. It wasn't in your face. It was subtle, and majority of the time, they weren't talking about it 24/7. It was more just existing in the world, trying to find out. They were more confused on why their mother was so. Her mother's mental state, rather than whether or not it's right or wrong, or etc. So I feel like this game handles it perfectly, and I feel like it's a great, decent story game. The only gripe I have, other than it being exclusive, what else? I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't have any real big faults that I can think of. Hold on. Let's get to the ranking sheet. Let's get to the ranking board. 2, 3. Okay. It doesn't have any big faults, so it's immediately at least A. Now, is it above. Now, is it S tier though? Okay, it's definitely in front. Well, hold on. Why did I put Seasons in front of Battlefield? I'll put it like this. I feel like that's better. Okay, tell me what. I like the design of the Hunter. That was one of my favorites. It has some great piano work with the music soundtrack. Not too many like vocal. Wait, no, it does have "Till I See You Again," and it has the intro. Now it has some bangers. I was gonna say it has no like vocal bangers, like people actually speaking, not just instrumentals or Foley or. I'm saying everything except for what I'm trying to think about. You know what I mean, guys. Like the background sound effects and stuff like that. But okay. It has good music. Okay, it is okay. It is in front of Seasons. I'll say that. Seasons has that book though. A gripe with the series is that, like, listen, if you're not a reading buff or you don't like to read, because a lot of the information, a lot of like background lore, so that you can get more in depth in the world, is in this giant diary. And if you're not too keen on reading, like, you even need to read the diary to open certain puzzles. Like, they tell you the page and everything, but like you gotta like infer and stuff like that. So if you're not the biggest on reading. Well, I mean, it's Life is Strange game, and yes, I do count this as the Life is Strange sort of Life is Strange like series. Okay, that's why I count Captain Spirit. I count that as the series, honestly. Just because it doesn't say Life is Strange in front of it doesn't mean it's not a part of the main line. I feel like anything that's made by Deck 9 or Square Enix, I feel like in a story based, and somewhat of a power or an ability, then yes, I feel like it's in the main line of Life is Strange, because they all derive from Life is Strange. That you wouldn't see games like this, well, except for, I don't know about Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human, but obviously I know the originator being The Walking Dead. You know what? We're gonna put it right there. We're gonna put it right there. If we want to move it, we'll move it. Let's move on to the next game. 3, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this is probably gonna be like the second biggest section before we get into the Life is Strange games and God of War Ragnarok. But let me just say this here. I played this game. I bought this game. I pre-ordered the game. I pre-ordered the standard edition. I have a picture on my phone of the countdown. This game, look, guys. Okay, listen. I'm not a social media guy, so the only time I really get my, info is from friends, or I get them from YouTube, because I do scroll YouTube. I do look at YouTube videos. That's my, entertainment. That's my TV, and every now and then I scroll, everybody, hey, even your old boy travel scrolls, okay? And I kept on seeing Cyberpunk, and I was like, okay, it looks kind of cool, but and then I kept on scrolling. I did not see the original trailer with that amazing soundtrack. You know the one. When it's ready at the end of the trailer. Yeah, I did not see that original one from years ago. I saw the E3 trailer. With the yeah, the train intro, the one we just watched a couple of minutes ago. And I saw the E3 and I was like, that sounds cool. That looks cool. And then the closer it got to release date, it just kept on like the ads, like you will get them back to back, like you will see them back to back. And I was like, okay, let's see what this game is. And now that I'm looking at it, I really do like the aesthetic. I like the Cyberpunk aesthetic a lot. It seems they said it was gonna be multiplayer. It's gonna have stories. It's gonna have driving, shooting, blah blah. They talked it up, guys. Now listen, on release date, I played this game on a PS4. All right, I pre-ordered it. I literally have a picture in my phone of me of the countdown from 7 days to and I have a picture of me downloading it the release day at 1 o'clock. So as I was looking at the trailers so I could get a better, like, hey, I just bought this game, let me see like what was going on. I heard that they're doing choice based, and I was like, nah, no, they're not. They're probably gonna have like small choices. They're gonna have life paths, like you can choose different life paths, and they might, you know, I knew that life path and them saying that there's gonna be choices and dialogue choices. I'm a Life is Strange nerd. I know a choice-based game when I see one. This is not a choice. There was no indication that it was gonna be a choice-based. They showed a little example of like you having two different dialogues based on if you're like what pathway you choose, like Street Kid, Corpo, and the other one that nobody plays because it sucks. And I was very aware that it was gonna end up like that. So I didn't have high expectations on the life path, and I didn't have high expectations on the choice. I was there for the shooting, the world, and the dystopian like existence, you know. And on release date, fire game, amazing game. Except there's one problem. Everybody and their moms was saying there's bugs. Now, guys, listen. There were bugs, okay? But the thing that made me upset and got kind of like blown out of proportion is they said for lower end consoles, it was the worst. And it was not as bad as people were saying. Majority of bugs that you saw were on PC. Like the cars flipping over, NPCs naked riding motorcycles. Now, the bugs on PlayStation is we had nasty pop-ins. So that means if you drove too fast to an area, you got out of your vehicle, the lower end models, you would see the lower end models before they get to the high end models. It's called LODs, level of detail. Now, since it was on console and the console was chugging, the level of detail didn't have time to like update properly, because the closer you get, the more it's supposed to update to make it more detailed. So it was supposed to be a seamless transition. But guys, you've seen all this blocky NPCs before they load into their full face. That was the most egregious thing on PlayStation 4, and I can tell you this because I played it on release date. I played it for 3 days straight, so I know. So some people were playing PC version and they were talking about it as if it's so bad on consoles. No, they don't know. They just hear from other people, and then they see PC bugs. Now, did I have the naked motorcycle riding bug? Yes. Another bug I can remember, I had the car bug. So when Jackie drops you off after the first mission, and he's using your car as so he can take Misty on a date, the car had an infinite screech. Like the handbrake was like turned on, but he was still driving. That's literally all I can remember. There was no game breaking bugs that I ran into that didn't get fixed before I ran into them. I heard some missions were bugged. Some missions, I did not run into any bugged missions, and majority of them were fixed before I got to them. So yes, Cyberpunk did drop with bugs. Yes, they should have did a better job with bugs. Yes, we know that they did their bug testing with another company, and the company was not structured properly, so they pretty much just gave CD just like terrible like baseline information instead of giving them critical bugs. Blah 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 blah. We know the story. We read it like 1,000 times. So I was not disappointed on the release date. So that means when they kept on updating the game and updating the game and updating it, it got better for me. I never said, "Aw." No, okay, wait. I'm missing one key feature. I am upset about the multiplayer. That is one thing I was upset about. I was like, update. I was like, cool. Where's multiplayer? And to be fair, the game was never built for multiplayer. It would have to been a whole different mode, which is fine, but the open world is not seamlessly compatible with multiplayer. And I'm seeing this from a game developer's perspective, so it's easier for me to say like this wouldn't work, this wouldn't work. But that quick hacks, how would that work in the let's say there's 2 players, right? In that world, right? In the Cyberpunk open world, like you're running around, whatever. How would quick hacks work? Now, obviously, you couldn't, like, could you use some of the crazier quick hacks on somebody? I don't know. Another thing is how missions will work. I feel like it's gonna be its own different game mode, or it's got to be like a different scene. It can't be an open world, or it can't be like GTA kind of, but then you're just gonna be getting quick hacked and killed. And even though that is fun, I feel like, you know, there's a more you know, elegant way to weave it. I mean, like, honestly, mainly the quick hacks is the one that made me say, oh, it's not gonna happen, because I feel like they had the intentions of making a mode, but they never did. And I am upset a little bit because they're going to be making Cyberpunk Orion that's supposed to have multiplayer. We'll see, you know. But the reason I was upset is because they're breaking up the Cyberpunk franchise. I feel like Cyberpunk 2077 should stay. Me personally, it should have stayed as one huge game, and you worked on that for a couple years, and then maybe you can, like, once, you know, devices, you know, consoles and PCs, you know, get better, then we could probably hop onto Cyberpunk 2 or Cyberpunk 8088, you know? I just feel like it could have been more contained. But I feel like since Cyberpunk 2077 is not multiplayer, you're not going to be splitting up your multiplayer genre. So I mentioned multiplayer fan base, so at least that's a good thing. So hopefully Orion, we can stay on Orion. If that's the name of it, it sounds like it's gonna be more of a like, you know, mainstay. I feel like 2042 is like that time, so we gotta, you know, get that snapshot. But obviously, I do feel like Orion is just a project name, so it's gonna be project name, blah blah blah, and then the actual name releases. Other than that, let's talk about the goods. I love the characters. Oh my gosh, guys, listen. Pan Am, I mean, guys, listen, I played the game. Wait, did I play the game on the channel? I don't think I played the game on the channel. I played it by myself, but guys, listen, when Pan Am was working on that car, I mean, the textures, I mean, every fabric, great textures, amazing music. I love how all their music is copyright free, I believe. No, you still have to tick the box, never mind. But the ones that are copyright free and they made for their world, amazing. I love that. I love the setting. I love the mood. I love the cyberpunk aesthetic. I love the people. I mean, it's just overall a good game. I played it. I was a street kid, best pathway, and I got the leave with Pan Am. I leave with Pan Am to try to find the cure with the avocados, honestly. And I killed the fuck out of Adam Smasher because he's a bitch. He was a bitch before Cyberpunk Edge Raiders, and he's definitely a bitch after. Sorry, I got a little emotional. But I'm currently playing through the DLC. I kind of stopped. There was a bug with the DLC where a sound glitch kept on happening, and I kind of just dropped it. But I am finishing it this year. We're finishing games. I'm playing through Double Exposure right now, so we are finishing games. I promise. So we can get more games done, so we can play more games this year, honestly. So okay, let's rank it. We're talking too much. Let's rank 2, 3. Okay, so Cyberpunk, a long game, amazing game, good drip, amazing aesthetic, amazing world. First of all, it's definitely going in S tier. Let's stop all the play. Now, it's going in front of Finch. It's going in front of Beyond. Now the question is it going in front of Detroit Become Human? Many people will say it has to immediately go in front of Detroit Become Human because you got skill trees, leveling up, guns. I don't think just because, me personally, yes, I know these are two different games. One is a choice-based game, and one is an action RPG. I understand that. It's hard to compare RPG to a choice-based game, but we're gonna do it right now. So, it's going in front. No, hold on. Let me explain. It's going in front mainly because of all the content. Correct. Yes, I understand. But I feel like the biggest downside for Detroit Become Human is it careens you into one. Even though it's a choice-based game, it's the most detailed choice-based game out there. I don't know about Walking Dead. I don't know how detailed The Walking Dead is with their choices. But from all the choice-based games that I played, which is all the big ones that's right here, that is the most detailed choice-based game. So you have the most branching choices and you have the most finishing choices, right? But they try to careen you into one set path because they want to tell one set story. So majority of those other paths you will never ever see. No reasonable person will go down some paths, and 90% of playthroughs are going to play the same because they're not good. There's no real reason, or they have terrible choices to say, hey, Connor stays with the humans, because that's what I did, and my playthrough was crazy different. But everybody else was the same because everybody else turned Connor into a deviant, because Connor's story is built up for him to become a deviant. So, but Cyberpunk is trying to careen you to a story, but it's not saying, hey, you have different choices. Yes, they have small little choices on life path, or whether or not you can let this guy live or let this guy die, stuff like that. But it doesn't it tells its story neatly, I feel like. So I feel like right now, it's going in front of our S tier, right? It's going right in front of it. So, hold on, guys. We gotta wait. We gotta, hold off on some of these heavy hitters. Okay, let's get some of these. Let's mix it up a little bit. Hold on. 3, we have the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Now, this game. Okay. When I was first playing this game is free, by the way. Game is free, absolutely free, right? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys. Listen. Okay. The game is free, but I was not feeling it. When I was going into this game, I had negative thoughts about it. I saw that it was made by the Life is Strange devs, and I was like, oh, okay, we gotta play this game, and it's free. But when I was loading it up, I was gonna be like, I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this, but the longer I play the game, the more I enjoyed it. It became an enjoyable experience, okay? I'm telling you the truth. I came to love it, And I loved the question of whether or not... Guys, I'm spoiling all these games, by the way, so you can go ahead and play them. Come on, or skip this section. I should have timestamps, but, I'm a little lazy, But, whether or not Chris actually had powers, and the crux of the game is basically you play the game, but Chris' ideas manifest into actual worlds, so his imagination is taken over. So going through a tunnel is like going through like a labyrinth, going to change the water heater, turn into a boss battle, stuff like that. So it's a kid imagination. I like the dynamic between his dad. I wish they could have told the line between his dad being good and bad, because more people say he's bad than good. I feel like if they would have told the line a little bit more and made him more of a good guy and made him more balanced, whether or not people hated Chris's dad or liked Chris's dad, to me they did a good job. But majority of people still think that Chris' dad, was too hard on him and was overall a bad parent, regardless of what he was going through with his death of his wife and all that. So. Hold on, let's get to ranking it, honestly. It had some decent choice. Guys, it was a little light game. They dropped so that we can have like a little buffer between Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange 2. So, with that being said, as a little buffer, I put it at second and B. I feel like second and B is fair. I think that's fair. Is that not fair? I feel like that's fair. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. I feel like it'll round out B, because I don't remember too much from it, but I do like the story overall. I want to put it in A, but it's just not up to A standards, to be honest. But it's A's high B though. It's high B. Next up, we have Life is Strange 2. Sorry for the audio, thing going crazy after this video. We have a lot of problems, but we chugging through. Listen, guys, I do not believe Life is Strange 2 should have got the hate that it deserves. Okay, yes, it's called Life is Strange 2, and yes, a lot of people thought it was going to be a continuation of Life is Strange, the original Life is Strange, right? First of all, right, they were dropping teasers like a book bags and like, it's going to be a lot of traveling, and the way that one of the exit, Okay, one of the endings of Life is Strange 1 was, the town gets destroyed and Chloe and Max leave. Like they're, traveling. So it made it seem like it was a continuation, and when people got sidelined by these characters, people were not liking that. They did not appreciate that. They were not rocking with that. They didn't feel that. And I feel like the negativity, carried itself through this game. Like they said, I'm gonna play this game, but it's not Max and Chloe, so I'm mad. But guys, I feel like, okay, yes, they should have. Maybe they did tell us that it was a different, characters, and either I'm missing, I'm like, my brain's lost right now, or if they never did, they probably should have said, these are different characters, different stories, or they should have said that each of the mainline game is gonna have a different protagonist. Maybe they did say that, maybe they didn't. I do not remember, right? But I feel like, all things considered, it was a great game. It was a great contrast. Life is Strange 1, right, was small town. You stay in that small town, you build bonds, you get out the rats, you help the good people, and you try to save the town, or fuck that town, or, right, Bay over Bay, or, right, which is a contrast of Life is Strange. You meet a person, but you're off to the next place. You're never in the same place. You never, you're always moving forward. So it was a great contrast. Instead of staying in one town and building bonds, you're moving along in the road trip style, trying to get to a singular goal. I feel like it was a great contrast. Okay, and I feel like they did that contrast well. I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that you couldn't control your power, that your brother had the power, not you, and I can understand that, right? But let's be honest, we kind of controlled the power majority of the time where it mattered. Like, we told Daniel, do this, you will do this. Well, depending on your relationship with him, because sometimes you can make him so mad that he doesn't listen to you, and I know sometimes he pushes you back and he does crazy stuff. But he's a kid, honestly. So I feel like the dynamic change was a little risky, not having the power. But I feel like your relationship with your brother, and how you treat him and how he views the world, and that controls how he acts. I feel like that's cool. I feel like that's novelty, right? The only thing that I didn't like, right, was the ending. I feel like the ending. Actually, okay, the endings make sense, but for an ending, you want to have you want it to be amped up. Now, obviously, the ending where Daniel gets out the car and he starts ripping up the ground and throwing cars and stopping bullets. Now that's cool, but some of the endings, are kind of they're kind of mad. Like, Daniel jumps out the car before you make it to the border. I think one of them dies. I think Daniel gets hit and he dies. That's one of the endings. I'm not gonna lie. The endings were good, not exceptional, and I think that people that hated on it for not being Max and Chloe looked at the ending and they was like, "Oh, this game better end like super." I'm like, this game better have the best ending ever. And now that it had a decent ending, people were angry and touted it as a bad ending. It was a decent ending for all different endings. Yeah, it was my ending. I believe. Wait, I played this on the channel, I think, but I believe I. Oh yeah, okay. I surrendered. Yeah, I surrendered. No. Daniel jumped out of the car and I drove past the border. That's what happened. Because he sent me a letter from both the Lobos. Anyway, amazing soundtrack, amazing ambient soundtrack. OST, that's what it's called when it's no music. OST, amazing. I just love the aesthetic, honestly. And now, obviously, then we got to meet my favorite, Cassidy. guys, this game was carried by Cassidy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Listen, we love Lila, love her to death, right? I wish I would have called her when I was at my grandparents'. I didn't know I had the option. I would have, promise. But when Cassidy came around, It was over. Anyway, let's rank the game. Anyway, where does Life is Strange 2 fall? It's definitely okay. It's definitely at A. Let's not even play now. Is it up to what remains? Why is I feel like what remains is a little too high. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it's a little too high. Yeah, I feel like what remains has such good storytelling. But is the storytelling better? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like what remains at Eden's Finch had better storytelling than Life is Strange 2. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I feel like that's true. I feel like this is how it should be. S tier is S tier. It did have amazing soundtrack, good. I'm putting it in S tier. I feel like Life is Strange 2 deserves S tier. I'm gonna be honest. With you guys. Now it's time for the one, the only Battlefield 4. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, Battlefield 4 is the best Battlefield game out there. Now I haven't played 6, and I'm not a fanboy of 3, okay? Nostalgia carries 3 all the way. 4 is just an upgraded 3. So I don't know why people don't like 4. I'm gonna be honest. But I haven't played 6, so I can't say if 6 is good or not. I've played every Battlefield except for 2 and 1. You know, guys, I don't got hardware for that. And Battlefield 1, and I haven't played Battlefield 5. But I heard it. I seen enough of it to know that I wasn't gonna like it, so I didn't get it. But I wanted to play Hardline so much, but nobody plays Hardline anymore. So sad. It looks so cool. Anyway, but Battlefield 4 had the Levolution system. It had so many weapons. Yes, it had a couple DLCs that was annoying, but sometimes they gave it for free. They had amazing wide open maps that's like legendary, like Go Mud Railways. They have meat grinders like Operation Locker. Like, what else could you want? They had amazing, what's it called? Easter eggs with the Megalodon, the Ghost Ship, the Phantom Bow. Even though they later gave the Phantom Bow in like some crate, but in the woods. But other than that, like I don't see why anybody would be upset with that. I don't see it, because like, okay, it had all the vehicles. It had Levolution. Like, come on, like some of the like the classic. When people say Levolution or Destruction when they're talking about Battlefield, they go too forward. Like, okay, yes, they go to 3 sometimes when the whole building gets destroyed, but guys, if a whole building gets destroyed at the beginning of a match and you have no cover, what are you gonna do then? It's kind of a slog fest. I feel like Battlefield 4 towed the line with Destruction, with having Levolution, so you have the big destruction that you can work towards, and you have minor destruction like buildings and such, but you don't have like complete destruction, so you can level everything, and now you don't have any cover. You're getting wasted by air troops. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. So basically, right, best Battlefield. Let's go ahead and rank it, guys. Best Battlefield. I mean, listen, putting it right, it's got to be S tier though, right? It's got to be S tier. No, I feel like maybe it's. I do not know. I don't know. Is it on that? Okay, yeah, it is on a whole different scale than 1. It's gonna round out our bottom of our S tier. I'm gonna be honest. Next game. 3, we have Life is Strange True Colors, the missed mark of the century. I mean, like, this game has so much potential. I love the characters. I love Gabe. It had the biggest soundtrack, but had no bangers. Like, I think they had like one banger. Great characters though. Great scenario. Great twist at the end. I didn't expect that, even though a lot of people did. I didn't like the world, but I didn't hate it either. I didn't like the flower shop, like the old lady. I didn't like that, and I didn't like Liz. I didn't like the whole relationship thing. I did not like the LARPing part, because I feel like those stuff should be optional. I feel like because the D&D for Beyond Before the Storm, the D&D like game was optional, so you can do that with Steph and all them. I don't feel like you should be forced to do the real nerdy stuff. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it felt like a slog, really. It felt, and it basically forced me to play a turn-based game I was not trying to play. But overall, I didn't. Okay, the biggest fumble they did, in my opinion, is that they told us in the trailer, the announcement trailer, that Gabe dies. Gabe does not die immediately. Gabe dies like a quarter to about halfway, somewhere like right in the middle, like 30% into the game, and we're with him like all the time. So it feels like at least half, even though we're not at him at least half. We're at him a little more than half. But when it comes to it, I like Gabe. He's W step-up father. He's funny. He's an enjoyable guy. Like, he's a stand-up guy so far, and he has like jokes, so he's not like corny and all. Overall, other than the dream sequences, we don't see Gabe after about like halfway through the story. But why would they tell us that he dies in the trailer? Like, why would he say that? Because Life is Strange, the original, maybe in the trailer they said something about Rachel's disappearance. Rachel's already gone when we get there. We don't have time with Rachel. So I don't see why they felt the need to reveal that because 90% of our interaction is, oh, he's about to die. Oh, when is he gonna die? Oh, why would he die? He's such a good guy. Oh, why would they build him up to make it? Because obviously, a lot of tragic stories. A good guy has to die, somebody has to die, parents have to die, etc., etc. But I don't think it was right for them to tell us. No, that was the problem. And plus, it removes any of the suspense of the moment where he is gonna die, because when he's gonna die, when everything goes crazy, and then they told him to turn off the blast and everything's cool, but he's gonna die there. That we're going up into this big situation where like somebody's gonna die, and we know Gabe's gonna die, so Gabe is gonna die, and guess what? Nobody else dies except for Gabe. And I like the twist. The twist was good. All the music, no bangers, like one banger. I think it was the trailer music that was the banger. It wasn't even in the game, I don't believe. So let's go ahead and rank it, guys. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I never want to play this hot dog shit again. Listen. I'm at B tier. I'm willing to play all these games again. But we're not just ranking it based off whether or not I want to play it again, because a lot of these would be a lot higher. But I'm saying True Colors is not bad, but Jesus Christ, it is not good. I mean, it toes the line, and I do not want to play this game again. The only thing I missed out on, like, giving Steph her rose. I forgot to give Steph her rose. That's the only thing I got mad and I missed out on. That's the only reason I want to play the game, is to give her a rose. But other than that, I'm good. Like, it really could have pushed his weight around. I like the dream sequence, because all Life is Strange gotta have their dream sequences. I love the dream sequence where we got to learn the backstory with the father and the mother and then mine. All that stuff was cool. And the dream sequence was actually pretty epic too, because it was like in a dark adoption center. It was very trippy, right? But it just fumbled in a couple places where it shouldn't have, really, to be honest. But next game, let's not harp on it all. 2-3, we have God of War Ragnarok. Now, guys, I did not play God of War 2019 or 2018, whatever it was. But I watched a couple people play it, and then I've heard that God of War Ragnarok was dropping, and I decided to play it. No, Ragnarok already dropped, and I was looking for stuff to play, and I decided to play it. So, I already know what happens in the 2018 version, but I was coming into God of War Ragnarok open. When I say I've never had much fun in a combat game, I mean, like, listen, I haven't played a Souls game, but I feel like there's a difference between God of War. Obviously, it's a difference. It's not the same genre, but I feel like godlikes should be more. I want more godlike games. I feel like God of War made a whole genre, really. Godlike games, even though it's in the RPG genre, it's, upgrade, blah blah blah. But I feel like this light version with a lot of story is amazing. I love the Greek setting this is in. I love all the characters. At first I didn't like Odin, but he came to grow on me because that's his character. His character's supposed to be manipulative and very conniving. And then Thor, his character got some progression with his whole drinking problem and stuff. They could have kept Thor the same way throughout the whole story, and I would have loved him. And I feel like even though the drinking problem lowered him a bit, it raised him back up to be more of a story powerhouse, I should say. Also, right, when it comes to, well, I'm gonna spoil, but guys, all this stuff is gonna get spoiled, so go ahead and skip that. When Thor dies to Odin, I got spoiled on that, so I can't really talk. I was gonna say it didn't really affect me, but I did get spoiled on that, so I'll just chalk that up as to, L spoiler, right? Because I got spoiled on that, and I was so bad because I was playing through it, and I was watching a content creator, and he was not happy with the state of play or whatever was going on, and they said that something was going on with Ragnarok, like a different edition or on a different platform, and then he just drops a spoiler because he's angry that he doesn't like any of the games. Like L content creator, I do not watch him anymore. Like, why would you do that? But anyway, right? Any negatives? I don't see any negatives, really. I love the setting. Some people don't like the pacing of Ragnarok, and people think it's woke as well. I don't think it's woke. I think somebody's mad about a line that Freya says when she's attacking Odin. It definitely stood out, but it wasn't like a big deal. And it definitely stood out, and people were upset that Angerboda wasn't, she was black instead of white. I feel like all games have that little, we gotta add this kind of character. I don't feel like that was like a necessary type of things. I don't think that was necessary. I don't think that's out of the blue. I'm not surprised. And I think she looks pretty. I think Angerboda looks good. I seen the race swap versions. I think the original God of War Angerboda looks a little better. Let's be honest, because maybe that one was just too pale, make it more like believable skin tone, But regardless, I don't think it has like any woke thing. I feel like I do want to go back and play God of War 2018 just to see the difference, but people say that it was overall an improvement. I can't think of anything bad. I mean, this is gaming. Like, what do you want me to say? This is peak gaming. Okay, so before I keep on yapping, let's go ahead and rank it. All right. So first of all, it's definitely S. Now, does it beat Battlefield? Yes, it beats Battlefield. It definitely beats Life is Strange 2 in story. Finch, good story. It beats it. Beyond, it beats Beyond. Detroit, now does it beat Detroit? Story-wise, who had the best story? Detroit, like I said, what the problem with Detroit is, like, you can get a different storyline, but they want you to play a specific storyline, and that, in my eyes, that specific storyline, I did not like. All right, it just felt very generic. It felt very cliche-ish. So, like, movie standard-wise, it was good. Now, is it better than a Cyberpunk story? Jackie and, Afterlife, the combat. I don't know. These are some heavy hitters. I'm gonna be honest. These are some heavy hitters. I'm telling you, sure I mean, like heavy hitters. Let's see. The end of the story, the amount of lore Cyberpunk has. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, Cyberpunk wins it just because I like the aesthetic more. The stories, like to me, are comparable, equal, right? Both of them are action games. And by the way, an action game can beat a story game and vice versa on my list. So I'm not just saying just because you're an action game, just because you got gun doesn't mean you outbeat, a story game. So I'm just to let you guys know, just to keep that aware. But yeah, okay, I'll set it there. Second best. I made my peace with it. Now for the next game. 3, Life is Strange Before the Storm. Oh my gosh. Now, okay, let me just say, soundtrack banging, characters banging. I love the dream sequences banging. W. William. Now, when it comes to backtalk, this series, quote unquote, power, since Chloe does not have any power, they wanted to give like the, they wanted to, keep up the Life is Strange kind of like power story, small town dynamic. They had to give her something, and since she didn't have a power, they gave her the ability to backtalk. Basically, your opponent says a word and says something to you, and you have to pick out a word or a specific way he said the word and turn it against them to win arguments. I mean, it's all right. They could have picked something. They didn't have to go with us. Obviously they couldn't go with a superpower, but I'm saying like they could have did. They kind of got creative, at least. I feel like it's a good middle ground. They tried. To me, to me, I don't even remember the game. I barely remember backtalk. I just know that it's a feature and you have to do it here and there. So to be honest, they could have kept that out and kept it just a story-based, choice-based game. And obviously, it's hard to make a choice-based game when you're doing a prequel. Prequel's the one you go back, right? Basically, yeah, they're going back to the story. So obviously, some things have to happen in some ways. But obviously, you can change it up a little bit. I'm not saying like I don't remember the choices being bad or anything. I'm just, letting them know that it's not easy to go backwards. But it had some of the best characters. It actually made me like Rachel a little bit more because Rachel was kind of overhyped. Amazing music. I'm telling you right now, no music in this game is hot dog water except for Skip's stupid mixtape. I had to listen to that hot dog water. I mean, Skip's. Tell your band to quit, bud. Tell them to quit. Hang it up. Oh my god. Damn. Guys, listen. Out of all the songs, that's the only one I can't stand. And every time I try to look up the playlist and soundtrack and just try to vibe, and every time Skip's stupid song comes up, it just ruins the whole vibe. I'm sorry I brought it up. It just made me upset. I like the visuals. I like the punk aesthetic. I like Chloe, so obviously I was gonna like her, her solo game. I like the controversy, what happened with Rachel's family. The ending was a little all over the place. I just remember a lot of stuff happening, and I guess since it's the climax, a lot of stuff does go down. But yeah, I feel like it could have been a little neater, But other than that, solid game. But let's see where our rank is. Let me see. It beat season. It's I'm not gonna lie. Did Battlefield 4 just get up there on? Nah, Battlefield 4 is gone. Battlefield. What remains? I think Okay, yeah. I had to fix that real quick. Okay, so Does Life is Strange Before the Storm make it there? I think it's at the top of A. I'm gonna put it at the top of A. I really liked Life is Strange 2. And I didn't really like Before the Storm. I think what's making me not put in S tier is obviously right now I don't feel like it's S tier, but I'm looking at Life is Strange 2, like what makes Life is Strange 2 S tier? S tier because I like the characters, I like the story. The only thing I didn't like, what was something I didn't like about it? I didn't like that we were in one place, but that's basically the game. The game is traveling, so you can't. I feel like, you know, Life is Strange had more leverage being in a small town and like growing with characters. And they tried to bring it back to that with True Colors, but they missed the mark. I feel like I didn't like none of the characters except for Judd. I like Judd. I like Alex's brother. I can't remember right now. I liked Ethan. I liked the little kid. I forgot his name. Of course, I liked Steph because, you know, she was in the other game. And that's about it. I didn't like the flower lady. I didn't like the dementia lady. I didn't like Mac. Obviously, everybody hated Mac. There was nobody I was diggity down with. Piss poor characters, dead ass. But I feel like I like the characters, I like the story. I just didn't like that it wasn't in one place. I liked everybody. I like Brody. Shout out Brody. I like. I mean Cassidy. Oh my god. Hey, guys, listen. Don't sleep on Hannah either. Okay. I feel like okay. Life is Strange 2 definitely S tier. Okay, let's move on to the last game. 3. Life is Strange. Guys, listen. When I say the king of story-based games, I mean Jesus Christ. Listen, okay, yes, I can give some, you know, yes, Walking Dead crawled, so Life is Strange can run. Yeah, I get it. But listen, I am telling you, this is the best game I've ever played. I mean, I know every character. I know Logan. That motherfucker's a background character. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, nobody. Like, Logan has like 3 voice lines, and then like 1 text. 1 text and a letter. I know Logan. I know Justin. I know Brent. I know. I can name like mad characters, guys. That's how in tune I am with these characters. I love this game. Had an amazing story, the best soundtrack. I'm telling you right now, there is no song on this playlist, not the OST, not the playlist, not the copyrighted songs, that I do not rock with. Okay, they don't miss. All of them have their purpose. All of them have different vibes, and all of them are amazing. Mountains to the Bear's Daughter, guys. I discovered so many great bands and songs from Life is Strange. It sent me down a folk rabbit hole, and I'm glad. Okay, like amazing artists like Daughter and what's another girl? Well, Girl of Red's not in this, but you know they're kind of linked. What's another one? It's the other one. Youth. I'm blanking right now, but guys, just literally just go click. Go click through the Life is Strange playlist. You will be serened and in a trance. Okay, amazing soundtrack, great story. I love all the characters. There's no character that I have disdain for. Like, I love the villains. I love Nathan. I love Victoria. I love Mark Jefferson. Like, they play such amazing roles. Like, I love their character. Like, when they're on screen, I'm smiling because like you can tell how like cheesy the dynamic is when Max wants to come and sit at a chair and Nathan and Victoria are sitting on her desk because they got beef with her. Like, amazing. W. Warren, but you already know it was Chloe Gang. Like, you already know what time it was. Like, there was never a dull moment. It was a full feature game. I I mean, like, amazing choices that had, relevant relevant, like, shorthand consequences and long consequences. Now it didn't have, like, 13 endings. It only had 2, really, which is fine. Which, the only thing I didn't like is some of the moments are a little cheesy. Like, everybody hates finding those 5 bottles. Me personally, I didn't take that long to find the 5 bottles. It wasn't necessarily something crazy for me. And another thing, oh yeah, the Chloe getting run over by a train sequence. That kind of was, I was kind of over that whole little scene. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was over that whole little scene. I didn't like the scene. I'm gonna be honest with you. The scene was a little mad. I was like, okay, here we go. Let's find out what's going on. But everything. There's no other scene. Like, there's no other scene that I can say like that was terrible. Listen, guys. When Jefferson was down in the bunker and he got murked 19 different ways, I thought it was funny. Now, did everybody else hate it? Apparently. Okay. I thought it was funny. And yes, it's supposed to be a serious situation, so maybe, having that kind of... I don't think it was meant to be humor. I thought it was... Well, they made it... It was supposed to be a puzzle, but it turned out humorous to me. And to everybody else, it turned out annoying and frustrating, which maybe they could have changed that. In episode 4 was basically filler for episode 5. So, well, whenever we was going through a bunch of those dream sequences. So, but I don't mind the filler. I'm right now I'm listening what other people don't like about the series. What other people don't like about the series is, they say it's cheesy dialogue, but first of all, it's like 2015-ish, I think. Like, I feel like the cheesiness of the dialogue is kind of granted. It's a teen movie in a high school, and it's like Twin Peaks. Like, come on. Of course the dialogue's gonna be cheesy. I feel like I like the cheesiness. Honestly, are you serial, dickhead? Fuck. But sorry guys. Sorry. I gotta be more nice this year. What else? Let me think. Okay, this is one of my... I'm pointing this out, but it didn't bother me. But for the original game, not the remaster, the lip sync is very off. And you will notice it after I say it, but once you forget that I said it, you won't notice it. Surprisingly, people don't... I didn't know this, but surprisingly, people don't... We look at people's mouths when they talk, but we don't, like, pay attention to how their mouth moves to make a sound. If right now, if you pull up any just type in Life is Strange, no commentary playthrough, click halfway through the video and look at their mouse move, it's gonna look crazy inaccurate. But then, like, in a couple weeks when you forget this, you're gonna watch that same clip and you're not even gonna know anything. So you won't really notice it unless you say, oh, I'm mad at the game, look at the lips, and then you're gonna notice it. But you through playing the game, you'll forget that it even exists, even if somebody points it out. So people say that people that play it are weird. Guys, just because the Life is Strange fandom has a couple weirdos doesn't make up for all of us. Okay, I'm sick of people's like saying like some weird guy likes this game, so we're weird. That's not how that goes. Every fandom has the weirdos. Everybody has the fandom has the person that takes it too far, or the person that's that did something horrific, and you can't demonize all of us for that. Okay, so let's come on. I didn't think I had to say that, but you would be surprised. What else? I mean, this game is just immaculate. I love the art style, like the cell shaded, hand painted style. Like, there's like, what you want me to say, gang? Like, what? And then I love the remaster, of course. But where do I rank it? This is our final game. Bro, you what? How you feel about it? Guess what? It don't matter. It's not moving. Life is Strange is the quintessential best story game, best multi-choice-based story game out there. I'm gonna put it. Yes, it's better than Detroit Become Human. Yes, it is. Well, the story-wise, the story, Detroit Become Human and Life is Strange puts you on a set narrative. But the difference between Life is Strange to Detroit Become Human. It's got Detroit Become Human. They have alternate routes, but they want you on that storyline. That storyline to me is it's boring. Come on, spice it up. And Life is Strange says you're gonna be on this story, and we'll let you branch out here and there, but this is our story, and I like that story. So come on. I mean, like when I say that this game is like amazing, I'm not joking. I love this game. It made me fall in love with gaming. It made me fell in love with characters and stories and being in tune with emotions and it touches on a whole range of different like aspects of normal life and obviously crazy life, because crazy stuff happens in this game. I mean, come on, the main character can rewind time. And can we talk about I should have talked about this in the synopsis, but rewind time was revolutionary. It was very like cool. No other game really did it. And like when I say a puzzle game, like this is a great puzzle. Best game ever. I don't gotta explain myself. Well, even though I just did. Listen, guys, this is my list. This going forward, we're gonna just add to this list. Next, we're gonna on this list we're gonna put how I feel about Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and obviously we're gonna play 3. Hopefully, we can find somebody to play with us. We'll see about that. But guys, this is the list. Let me know how you feel about it. W list, L list. What are you changing? What are you playing? Yes, I know this is. Yes, okay. I play a lot of story games and action games, okay? Yes. Are you gonna hate me now, huh? I'm gonna try to expand my horizon. I'm gonna be honest with you. But, guys, if you have any game suggestions, let me know. I'm so glad to have this list out here because it took so long to make this video. Anyway, see you guys next time.